Okay, so Troy put something up in the Real Kung Fu application group and caused some, we'll call it discussion. So I wanted to respond to that. So he was doing some palms, and he was doing them like in a modern framework, like a kickboxing kind of stance. And some comments were made about it. So whenever we look at anything, well, we have layers of questions to talk about. So first of all, I'm doing a palm strike. Am I doing it stationary? Am I doing it with footwork? Am I doing a single palm strike? Am I doing a combination of palm strikes? So for example, stationary, I just have to make sure I'm turning my hips and shoulders to shoot the punch in. Stationary, and if I'm doing just one, I'm just going to focus on that same side turning in. Same side turning in. If I'm doing them two together, 1, 2, it's the coordination of the hips and shoulders, hips and shoulders, hips and shoulders, hips and shoulders. If I'm doing it with the step, hand and foot at the same time, hips and shoulders at the same time. So in. If I'm doing the second side, the rear side, in. And if I'm doing them together, it has to be the coordination of 1, 2. 1, 2. But more importantly, when I first looked at this, I was looking at the footwork, so it was looking to me like Troy's background was Xing bone footwork. But then he said, well, it's P, that he was really thinking about when he did this. So this is more subtle. And again, you can look at some self-defense stuff as long as I take my hand and smack somebody. I tell people in my self-defense seminars, you don't have to be really even technical. You smack somebody in the face, it's going to hurt, it's going to create an opportunity. Now, of course, if you take good mechanics, whether it's boxing mechanics or martial arts mechanics, or whatever you want to call it, you can add power to almost anything that you do. But if we're talking within the context of a particular system, Xing Yi is based upon spear movement. So there's a difference between spearing someone and slicing someone. So for example, if I'm coming straight in, that's fine. But when we're doing P, which is slicing, it's a different motion than a jab. It's not really jabbing in, and the other thing is that it's not just like putting the lid on a pot. If you think about a spear, it's slicing, so I'm going to have that quality of coming in and down and slicing. So in other words, I'm not just going, and if I do it with the wrist, again, I'm not coming straight in like tuning, penetrating, I'm slicing. So if you're doing PP with that concept, you're going to have to make sure you have more of that roll, so that when you hit, you're hitting and cutting. And again, that's what P or peck means. I go back and forth with Cantonese and that, or you guys know that. So I would suggest that each and every person that ever watches any video ever, any person, and it could be you also, there's going to be things that you can be corrected. There's going to be different people at different levels. We can criticize, or we can engage in a productive conversation. I recommend you engage in a productive conversation and talk about how we can improve something, or what is it that we're talking about, and not be negative about it. Have a good day.